The final curtain has yet to fall on the Rotax Max Winter Cup action here today. We've still got nigh on 3 hours worth of action all the way through the afternoon here in Andalusia as we go into race number 17 of the meeting. I'm sorry I have to laugh, I just can't believe that. Heat 7, Senior Rotax, Groups B and E. Your grid is as follows. Matilda Olsson from Sweden will have Hungary's Zombar Kovac alongside on the front row. Lewis Gilbert and Ehad Turka, row number 2. Tom Edmonds and Kai Hunter make it a British all row 3. Andreas Hebert and Luca Leistra from France and Belgium respectively make it onto row 4 with Eduardo Cosseteng from the Philippines and Makama Hata from France in 10th position. That's row 5. Charlie Turner from the UK and also Tom Adams will be alongside each other on row 6. Storm Brewer from the Netherlands and Rasmus Friedel from Sweden, that's row 7. James Johnson from the UK and Max Stemmerdink from the Netherlands, that is row 8, ahead of Luna Blum from the Netherlands. Kilian Gerhardt from France, Maurice Schuring and Flint Schuring, so the two brothers Schuring on the 10th row of the grid. Jordi van der Eyck, Kim Leon Klublik, Hussein Salman from Egypt, Jose Luis Cinero Salas from Spain, Michael Petit from Belgium, Denis Oliveira from Portugal, and Norton Falke from Germany. Once again, the timer has been reset to 10 minutes plus an additional lap. We'll have another senior heat after this. And then at 17:25 local time, we will get into the true business end of qualifying heats day in Andalusia as they slow to a crawl. Some drivers going through the routine of warming up the Mojo tyres, putting heat in both tyres and brakes, steadying themselves, getting themselves primed, ready to go racing in about the next 60 seconds time as they slow to a crawl towards turns 15 and 16, being led by Uppsala's very own racing sweetheart, Matilda Olsson. So we will find out very shortly who will get the jump on who at the start. Red lights on the gantry, Olsson on pole, Kovac alongside. Into the tram lines we go. The Rotax Roar returns on the racetrack. We go lights out and racing. And it's nigh on 4 abreast heading into turn 1. It's getting very, very quickly a carambolage up at the top of turn 3 as they all try to filter their way through. And it's getting very, very dicey. There's 2 abreast going into the exit of turn 6 there. Absolute great control in the first lap of the race, but that's a very clumsy manoeuvre. That's from Ehad Turka there, on possibly on Zombar Kovac. But Ehad Turka tried to go up the inside and hit 2 wheels quite heftily on the curb, and it caught the Turkish driver out and put him behind the 321. That is Andreas Hebert from France. More moves up the inside, looks like... I think that was Kai Hunter that just got an overtake thrown up the inside of him, and around the outside of him is the 338, and that is Eduardo Cosseteng from the Philippines. Keeping it planted around the outside, and someone goes off into the gravel by 2 wheels there, I think. Just caught the dust there. That was the 321 of Hebert with Dams Racing. So Andreas Hebert very, very lucky to get away with that one. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Olsson in first, Gilbert in second, Tom Edmonds keeping pace in third, and with them in fourth is Zombar Kovac, as we've also got Cosseteng, Hebert, Kai Hunter, Luca Leistra, Charlie Turner. That's towards the bottom part of the top 10, and is Concertina in quicker than I can even think towards the bottom part of the top 20. There's a train of about 12 carts from about, I think, 13th or 14th onwards, going down towards turn 12, and one of them that is leading it looks to be that's Maurice Schuring in the 314 from JJ Racing, with brother Flint down in 19th, another 4 places behind as the leads changed. Lewis Gilbert now in second. Tom Edmonds has hit the front. Matilda Olsson down into P3. What a job by there for Tom Edmonds, up into P1. Lewis Gilbert makes it a British 1-2. So the Doride Diamond beginning to shine under the Andalusian Saturday afternoon sunshine here. And again, the youngster, I've seen him rise through the junior Rotax ranks, and he's been nothing short of impressive. In 2018, he was the B&L Karting Series Vice Champion in junior Rotax. He exploded into the scene as a senior last year, and he's shown a sign of things to come. He might make me feel a bit like Richard Hammond from the Grand Tour, because Lewis is actually quite clearly taller than me. As Olsen sends it up the inside of her Strawberry Racing teammate to retake second position. And that was a very, very clean, fair manoeuvre on her teammate there. As it's everyone else for themselves from about 5th position onwards. As I think that is Charlie Turner that's just got past Luca Leistra for position. And there's been another change. Hunter's got past Hebel. And occasionally, for those people that are wondering when the drivers are doing the tap on the side of their helmets, they're doing that sort of like think about what you're doing. It's a motivational tool. But then you'll also get the ones where they wave their finger forward as if to say, let's get after those in front. So it could be one of one or one of the other. Tom Edmonds has a lead of about 2/10 from Matilda Olsen. Lewis Gilbert, Zombar Kovac rounds out the top four. Then it's Kosteteng. Unfortunately, Marc Kamahata from France, who started in 10th position, has now retired. Kai Hunter in 6th, Andreas Hebel, Charlie Turner, Luca Leistra, Ehad Turker, Storm Brewer. James Johnson has made his way up from 15th up into 12th. Tom Adams in 13th, two-time English plate champion in junior Rotax was Tom. He's running with Coles Racing. Rasmus Friedel, Morris Schuring, Luna Blum rounds out the top 16. So 2 women drivers in the top 16 of this field. Ultra competitive, 26 drivers still driving down as there's a move here, possibly. Turker on Leistra. That's a perfect textbook maneuver, using the slipstream to slingshot pass and get in front before you hit the apex on turn 1. Neatly demonstrated there by Ehad Turker. But Tom Edmonds still has the lead, and at the moment the fastest driver on the circuit is Eduardo Kosteteng. So the youngster from the Philippines has done a 1 minute 4.262. We've got to 5 minutes remaining plus an additional lap. And there is still plenty, and as they say, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Could I please ask for driver 23 to go to the stewards immediately, please. Driver 23 to the stewards immediately, please. Thank you. So we've had a couple of penalties being issued. One of them is for the 340. That's Michael Petit, who's got a 10... This is the first I've seen this. 10-second time penalty for leaving the entire circuit with the kart. Also, there's been a 3-second time penalty. They have been issued to the following drivers. 399, Luca Leistra. But then I look, and the other one is 361. That's Charlie Turner. So they've left the track with with 2 wheels outside the confines of the circuit. If you leave the circuit itself with all 4 wheels, let alone the whole kart, you will be given a 5-second penalty. It's 3 if you leave it with 2 wheels, as in what race control deem as fundamentally acceptable. So it's 3 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. Tom Edmonds still securing the lead at the minute by about 3 1/4 of a second ahead of Matilda Olsson. Lewis Gilbert still rounding out the top 3, covered by 7/10. So on lap number 2, Marc Kamahata from France unfortunately retired as there were a couple of drivers nigh on going side by side. Of the look, thinks that's Hebel and Leistra, who's got the 344 of Turka up ahead. So 3 penalties issued in this particular race so far. So running order at the moment, it's Edmonds from Olson, Gilbert, Kovac, Kosseteng. Then we got Kai Hunter, Turka, Hebel, Leistra, Turner, as Hebel has actually dropped down a little bit further, down to 12th position. And there is an absolute ding-dong battle going on, and that is between Turka. You've got Stormbro just behind the 399 of Luca Leistra. So Leistra now down into 8th position on the road. Stormbro rounds out the top 10. We then got James Johnson up into P11. Andreas Hebel, P12, ahead of Rasmus Friedel, Tom Adams, Luna Blum, Morris Schuring, Matt Stemmerdink, Jordi van der Eyck, Flint Schuring, Kylian Gaha, Jose Luis Cinero Salas, rounding out the top 21 drivers ahead of Kim Leon Kublik, Petit Hussein Salman from Egypt. Then we've got Norton Falke and Denis Oliveira from Portugal. Now, the last of the drivers still circulating, 26 of them so far. And I'm just seeing that we've got a 5-second time penalty for pushing. And that goes to the 347. That is Tom Adams. So Tom Adams has been deemed by race control to have been pushing out on circuit, so gets a 5-second time penalty. We're into the last 48 seconds plus an additional lap with Tom Edmonds from Great Britain running under the KR Sport Cosmic colours. Good to catch up with him late last year. A big shout out to my good friend from the UK, Luke Austin. It is amazing scenery, my friend. You need to be here. And you just got a view of some council estate flats in Middlesbrough. Touche, mon ami, touche. But yeah, a big thank you to everyone tuning into the coverage live on Facebook, live on YouTube, also via the Rotax radio channel on Downforce Radio, the nation's motorsport station. Time has now expired. And as I say that, Tom Edmonds is now on the penultimate lap of the race here, as we are fast approaching the conclusion of race 17 of the meeting so far, as they come down to turn 12. So some drivers will have a penalty post-race. I know that Sarah Moore will be down in the pit lane, readying herself to speak to one of the drivers very, very shortly once the race has been concluded. As Edmonds now will get the final lap board. He comes out of turn 18. Olson not that far behind. A good day in the office for the Swede, based out of Uppsala. 0.870 of a second behind the Brit. Lewis Gilbert rounds out the top 3 ahead of Zombar Kovac. Eduardo Kosseteng, the sole Filipino delegate here this weekend. Black and white warning flag for, once again, Tom Adams. So Tom Adams has had a 5-second towing penalty for pushing and a black and white. So basically just an impending warning that keep your elbows in, young sir. Kai Hunter, in the meantime, is now dropped behind Ehad Turka, whereas Charlie Turner, who has a 3-second time penalty post-race, that is going to drop him outside of the top 10. That could put him 11th behind James Johnson, his teammate at Sudi Vitesse. But then also, he won't be the only one affected. It could actually put him P9 because Luca Leistra will have a 3-second time penalty added to his time post-race. As the checkered flag has waved and Tom Edmonds from Great Britain takes the win. Ahead of Matilda Olsson by nearly a second. Lewis Gilbert takes another solid top 3 finish. Tom Edmonds started in 5th place, finished as our winner. Lewis Gilbert finished 3rd, exactly where he started. Matilda Olsson started on pole, finished 2nd. Zsombor Kovac started on position 2, ended up in 4th place, with Eduardo Cosseteng starting in 9th, finishing in 5th. Charlie Turner is shown as 6th at the minute, ahead of Ehad Turka, Kai Hunter, Luca Leistra. Obviously, there have been some penalties issued, which probably will be post-race. James Johnson rounds out the top 10 ahead of Stombreur, Andreas Heber, Rasmus Friedel, Tom Adams, also Maurice Schuring, Luna Blum, Jordi van der Eyck, Flint Schuring, Kilian Guerin, Jose Luis Senor Salas, Kim Leon Kublik, Max Stemmerdink, Michael Petit, Hussein Salman, Norton Falca and Dennis Oliveira, with unfortunately Francis Makamahata not finishing the race, only got as far as lap number 2.